What the hell? We have a golden pappy. We got a golden pappy. What the hell? Well, thank you. Woo! Woo! If you give, what is it, like 100 bits or like 1 sub, I think you just have to contribute to it at all, and then you get the golden kappa for the day, right? Well, let me scroll back then. I gotta go through the people.
GEEGA, can you help me? I fell down the well again.
You're on your fucking own, dude. Someone, I don't know, lower a rope.
GEEGA, yay.
I'm not reaching down there. Sandra, thank you for the... Oh, that was an emote. what are you saying? It's an emote. Detrot, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Aji, thank you for the 10 gifted subs as well. I always say it in my head like it's Ahi. But I don't know.
What's that, Boris? Bite fell down in the well.
What's that? Rudy, thank you for the 5 gifted. Taka, thank you for 5 gifted. Adu, thank you for 5 gifted. Captain Wad, 5 huge. Jasically, thank you for the 2 months. Starsky, Strollin' Nolan, Beanie Weenie. You guys, Strollin' Nolan and Beanie Weenie resubbed right next to each other. What the hell is this? Thank you guys for the resubs. Cave, thank you for 5 gifted. Red, thank you for the 2. I'm scrolling. There's a lot of dailies. Captain Wad, thank you for the resub. QDP, QDB, QBQ. Thank you for the resub. Thank you all. Thank you all. Teamwork? Yeah, I think they're fucking planning it, dude. Bibendum. Thank you for the prime. And Orion as well. Thank you for the resub. Intent was Aginator. Oh, Aginator. Yeah.
It's so dark down here. I can't see. Oh god, I just stubbed my toe on an undead.
I'm so glad Biku added this stupid functionality. It's so dumb. I really want to use Tangia for a lot of the stupid voices. But I also really like Biku. So my thought was maybe like some days I'll have one, some days I'll have the other. And then maybe I'll just do like I'll just say it. I'll just say it somewhere. Maybe my like go live ping. I'll be like Tangia today. And then the moment we switch, I swapped to Biku, you know, or whatever. Cause I like both. I also like, ooh, shiny new thing, right? Tangia Thursday. I mean, we could, yeah, unironically, you could. Is that Boomhauer? Does it? Let me look.
The Giegler.
Is there a library I can look through right now? Custom TTS. Oh, you can make your own voices TTS. That sounds like hell. I know some people do that. I would, Why is the first thing here moist jump scare? Moist critical jump scares you, but look at the look at the image for it. This is what comes up. What is this? Who makes these? Who makes these? Charlie, no. Is there a preview of it? Sorry if that was loud. That's him. I'm gonna play it again. Ah, it's so loud. I didn't think he was gonna talk. Did I jump scare you? so stupid. That's dumb as hell. He sounds like a recorder when he's screaming. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people do. Oh, these are just the things you can have show up on the screen. Oh, you could see when they... Wait, you could see who uploaded it, and I see one from my friend Cora. Cora from the Blood Church. It's Ask Me About My Wiener. Classic. Classic. Good one, Cora. That's cute. I didn't expect to see my friend on the front page there. With her excellent taste. Why are there 3 moist jump scares? Master Oogway TTS? No way. Do they have a preview? Master Oogway. Dude. Master Oogway. He's real. Rude Cormit? No, I don't like it. It says 18 plus. They got Randy Savage on here. They got Goofy. Goofy's one of the really good ones. They got Gilbert Gottfried. They got Carl Weezer. Oh, it's so bad. That's bad. It's shit. It's shit. Oh, we got David Attenborough, okay? David Attenborough, let's hear it. Yeah, yeah. Okay. I like that. Master Oogway. Oh, Astarian Whispers CTS. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. Okay, well, some of these are cute. They got the SpongeBob Newsfish. Wait. The SpongeBob Newsfish is really good. I forgot about the Newsfish. No. It is good. It sounds like Quite. Right? Does it sound like Quite? Like when Quite starts talking like that? Hold on, let me open a Quite video. It's playing Animal Crossing music. Hold on, I'm opening a Quite video. Yeah, like if Quite spoke in an imperative tone like that, it would sound exactly like that. He always sounds a little muffled because he's got the mask on, but when he takes the mask off, like, you know? I've never heard of that word. It's the accent too. I'm gonna tell him this. Say, did you know that if you spoke in an imperative tone, you sound just like the SpongeBob Newsfish? Quite, I gotta tell you something. It's really important. It's so important.
What are your thoughts on the Bracken?
Spell Bracken right. I have no thoughts on it. I'm not a monster fucker. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know it's like really funny for content, so I should like come up with something and pretend it's my thing, but I can't. I can't. Every time someone's like, "Oh, I'm really into that fucking thing from Alien, the xenomorphs," so they're like, "Oh, yeah, the Bracken," or like any of that shit. Ew. Oh, you're talking about the brick. I've seen that mentioned. I don't know what that is. I thought you said Bracken because someone else just mentioned Amelie, and I was like, oh my god, we're gonna get on the monster fucker shit. It all made so much sense. But no, you're talking about the brick of chicken. I saw this mentioned on where did I see it? I don't even know. Hold on. I think I don't care about it. I don't care about it. I want good food. Yeah, it's the flork thing. I think I saw it on Twitter. Hold on, let me get his picture. Hold on. Where the fuck is Flork? He's been posting about it. Oh, he's convinced by someone else. Who the fuck is this person? Self-improvement VTuber. Look, if you're a VTuber, there's no way you can get better. It's impossible.
Male
I don't know how to
Duba,
tell you this.
that's his name, created the bricken by taking a square of ground chicken and putting it in an oven. I would not build a house with brickens.
That's, who cares? It's just it's a meatloaf. Dude made a chicken meatloaf. Why is everyone shocked? It's because he branded it. It's because he called it a bricken instead of saying I made a chicken meatloaf. People make meat bricks all the time and they're called meatloafs, dude. Yeah, it's a shitty meatloaf. That's it. Cheat loaf, yeah. I don't know. It's hard to. I mean, I guess if you put cheese in it, if you keep like fattier cuts in there, it might be okay. But a chicken in a meatloaf, I feel like it could turn out so dry, so easily, right? I feel like it's just destined to be like so dry. Can't believe we live in an era where meatloaf is viral news. No, it's because if people are so brain rotted. They're so brain rotted that you can just be like, look, brickin', and they're like, haha, that's so funny. Because there's nothing good on the internet right now except for shit like that, you know? So when you finally see the brick and you're like, yeah, hell yeah. And it's funny to you because everything else is like, yo, here, don't forget that in this part of the world, this terrible thing happens. And you're like, ah, you know? You're like getting zapped and inundated with bad news all the time. So when you see the brick and you're like, yes, yes, because it's like, it's good in a sea of bad, you know? It's just like stupid, simple humor. It doesn't exhaust you, you know? I think like, yeah, it's simple. That's what I mean. It's simple. Brickin', funny word, picture along with it. Haha. It's all people want right now, dude. It's all they want. It's all I want. Although when I see it, I'm just like, yeah, it's just shitty meatloaf. It's just a shitty meatloaf, dude. I do like meatloaf, though. I do like a good one. A good, delicious meatloaf. Simple meatloaf. It's Iconist cheeseburger all over again. I mean, I think a lot of the biggest memes are things that don't have really a big underlying joke. It's just like a very simple one-off thing where you could say one word and people are like, oh, I know what that one word is. Because people love reference humor. Because the easiest thing to do, yeah, it's E all over again, right? 6-7 is this generation's E. It's literally what it is. Remember when I said a while back, I was like, hey, a lot of like current like kid humor and Zoomer humor and stuff is literally just millennial humor of today. It's the same shit. It's related to the age group that you are because you think stuff like that is funny when you're at that age. It's not unique to each generation. Every generation had their stupid shit, you know? And people are like, no, it's unique. E with unique to this group. And no, it's the same shit, dude. It's the same shit. I don't think people change. I don't think people change. Well, actually, no, I think people are changing, but like, they're getting worse. Can I tell you my conspiracy theory for the world? My conspiracy theory for the world right now? I think people, their development is getting more and more stunted over time. More and more stunted over time. Because of a few things, but one of the big ones, everyone treating people in their 20s like they're still kids, and people in their 20s not doing major milestone shit that they used to do back in the day. For example, I'm not saying I think you need to do this to develop, but people used to have their kids by like 25. And then in their late 20s and 30s, they were living a full adult family life, right? And enjoying that shit at that age. And now I feel like a lot of people are like in their 20s, they're just frozen. They're just frozen completely, right? I think there's a lot of stuff like that in this world. Did you hear about how we just stopped teaching kids how to read properly, and so a lot of Americans are barely literate now? Oh, I've been new. I've been new. I've been new. Yeah, no, they just don't teach kids how to read anymore. But I think even for a while, even in the millennial generation, I think a lot of younger millennials weren't taught to read properly either. They were taught to read in a basic way, but they weren't taught beyond a certain point. So I think it was starting like, back then, personally. I think there were always, good chunks of people that never really learned. Yeah, but I think that's more and more over time. For sure. He said, I don't know about you, but my parents were not mature or developed or ready to have kids in any way. How do you think the world has kept turning, dude? You learn on the job. And I know, that's literally parenting. You learn on the job. You learn on the job and do your best. No one's ready for it. It's something you learn as you go. The only way you kind of can be ready is if you're like me and you babysat and took care of a billion younger family members over the years. I've taken care of newborns many times. I've taken care of toddlers many, 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 many times. Every age range. So maybe, yeah, I could be like, oh, I might know what I'm getting into going into it. Maybe. But even then, it's different when you have to do it 24/7. Like, no one's used to that until they just do it. Yeah, and that's right. That's why the first child is always like, yeah, you call the sacrificial first child, because that's the one the parents are learning on. But yeah, I think it's just different. It's just different. No one's really like prepared or matured enough for it. Having kids and having to be there for them and having to become a parent is what matures a lot of people. Some of them don't. Doesn't work on everyone, but I think those types of experiences are what make you do better or mature. It's going through experiences, I don't think you can just go through life working a job and just arbitrarily become mature enough to have a child in most cases, honestly. So I just think like, because everyone's doing everything later and later and later, they're just so stunted. They're so stunted. I don't know. I always say this. I was reading when I was like 2. I wasn't reading like a full fucking novel, or crazy shit like that. But I was reading when I was like 2, and so did almost all of my cousins in my family. Everyone, at least by 3, was able to read like a full small kids book. Because kids that young can learn this shit. But I've a lot of family in education, things like that. A lot of people are saying that when kids get to kindergarten, a lot of them just have no idea how to read. And I'm thinking to myself, yes, can a teacher teach them when they're that age? Yes. But don't you lose out on early development if you don't learn these things early during these like key windows to develop your brain? Don't you lose out on so much? It's kind of like how if you never learned how to speak early and you learn how to speak later, and if no one speaks to you, there's some level of stuntedness that occurs there, right? I think the same is with reading, the same is with everything, right? Like everyone should try to be learning how to do everything as early as possible. People who learn to play an instrument early are like almost always destined to be way better than people who learn it later, because there's just something in that learning it when you're very spongy and very young, you know? I don't know. I don't know. But I think my conspiracy theory is that this carries over to adulthood. I think, you know, yeah, kids are learning shit later and later, which is a problem, but I think adults also pushing all the milestones back for good reason. They're doing it for like financial reasons and career reasons and stuff, which is totally understandable. But I think because of that, it's genuinely stunting people's maturity. You know? And again, like not always in a way that's like fully their fault. Like the world is this way, you know? But I think that's kind of the side effect. That's my theory. I don't know. Yeah, you said the way the world's going, can't have a kid in this world, can't let them endure this horse shit. Yeah, I'm not so doomer about it. I think people should still do what they want to do because same shit, different era, in my opinion. Obviously, a lot of things are ramping up in certain ways, whatever. But I try to not be on, like, that crazy fearmonger juice. Because, yes, shit's bad right now. Depressions have happened several times. Wartime has happened several times. We've had so many advancements and changes and all these things. And I think, yeah, I was going to say exactly what you said, Dandra. The difference is now we have the internet, so we see it all. We see it all. I think shit was always like really bad, really corrupt, etc., etc. It just, the information wasn't shared as much. You know? So I wouldn't stop yourself from doing, if you want a family, have a family. Like don't stop yourself from doing that thing. You just be realistic with them. Okay? But yeah, I think we're so exposed to it, so it feels worse. It feels bad, but you know, the world keeps turning. Things are definitely not good, but you know, I don't know. Things are both the worst and the best they've been. But I also think I think that attitude of like, it's cooked, I can't bring a child into this world, and you know, things are only going to get worse, is a defeatist attitude. And I think that if you wanted things to ever get better, but you're thinking like that, then you're dooming it to 100% never happen. You know? You know? This is why optimism is good. It doesn't mean that you have to be unrealistic, but you can like plan for the worst, hope for the best. Right? I don't know. It's not that you have to ignore everything that's not good, but just have a better attitude, you know? You know what I mean? Also, I need to do something for like 3 minutes. For like 3 minutes. I gotta help my cat with something. Poop moment. Poop moment. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. In the meantime, I want you to have a discussion. When you have a discussion on if you had a child, what would you name it? What would you name it? Wrong answers only. Okay, BRB.
Dovahkiin.
Okay, hi. Sorry. Poop moment. Lucky has issues with pooping sometimes, where he like gets a little constipated, and I have to check when I hear him like getting into the litter box to check if he pooped or not, because I have two cats. So like if I'm scooping, I can't just go off of what's in there to tell if it was him or not, you know? So I just need to like watch. I need to watch him poop and just need to make sure he's good. But dude, he just pooped so much, so much. Because he didn't really like poop too much yesterday. And normally he's like very regular. So if I ever see that like there's like less, I start watching him for the next day. Because if he doesn't poop for like a day, that shit can turn really bad really fast for cats. So, but yeah, he's just he's a boy in need of fiber. But he's good. He just pooped. It was huge though. It was like, unironically, I would say that shit was like 7 inches. My cat's poop just now. Like all one. All one. That's a lot for a cat. It came out kind of L-shaped. It was like, like two, like kind of like two segments, still attached to each other though. So like it like half came out and then it like folded down and then the other half came out. If you wanted to know deep details about his poop. But yeah, no, he's good. He pooped out an L to let me know what he thinks about me.
Do your the gates have opened? The Kaka-Kraken was unleashed. There were survivors faction redeems chat.
Bad time to be eating a Snickers bar. Why do Snickers look so much like more than any other candy? Like a log. Like that. Like why? Of all things. They're so delicious though. They're so good. They're so good. Yeah, the bumps on the top. I know, but there are other candy bars that like have that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I don't know. It's just perfectly done. It does. Yeah. Hold on. Snickers bar. I need to find a good. Ew. Someone's like, here's my vegan Snickers recipe. But it looks bad. Okay. Dude, what? Okay, this one doesn't even look right to me. This shit definitely got melted a little. But it always has that top texture, you know? It's that texture. Yeah, swirly's a really nice way to put it. So many people making their own. They're like, oh, a homemade Snickers. But aren't there a lot of words for these things in like British baking? I don't know. I gotta say, those Snickers ice cream bars, those things, they fuck. They're so good. I had one like one time and I was forever changed. They're really good. They're really good. I'm not really like a candy bar person typically. I'm not that into candy. So, So I never really tried them. And then at some point my friend was like, no. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. So I tried it. Holy shit, it was good. Holy shit, it was good. Oh. Google Ducky out. Oh, no, I'm going to do the form. I'm going to release it on Discord like late tonight instead of during stream. I mean, it doesn't matter whether it's during stream or not, but I'm going to do it later tonight and release it then. Because I wanted like one or two people to check over the rules and regulations, whatever. get final eyes on it before I send it. So I'll check after stream, and if it's all good, and then I will send it tonight. So don't worry about it for right now. Whoever invented deep fried Snickers bars, though, I'm not into the fried everything. Yeah, I think like I don't know, like fried pickles. That's fine. There's some fried carnival foods, whatever, that I'm like, it's whatever. Fried Oreos, fried ice cream, I don't like it. I don't like it. Fried butter, fried stick of butter. Pickles are disgusting. Well, you're disgusting because pickles are amazing. They're incredible. My favorite, though, fried zucchini. Oh, I just don't know why you would fry something like sweet when fried zucchini's right there, and it's delicious. It's delicious. It's so good. It's so good. I don't know why you... I don't know. I'm a person who enjoys eating vegetables, though. I enjoy them. So even if they're unfried, I like them a lot. So I eat just like some well-cooked zucchini, and I'm like, wow, that's so good. That's just me. So some people might be like, it's all right. But how can you, even if you don't like zucchini that much or any vegetable, if it has a fried outside, how can you not, you know? Like, it's all good. It's all good, dude. Do the spiral cut on fried zucchini? I don't know who they is, but I'm talking about like Italians that do that shit at home. And it's usually just in little discs. You just cut it into little discs, salt it, kind of like you're going to pickle something. You can salt it and leave it in a bowl just sitting there so that the moisture just kind of comes out. You squeeze it out. You can rinse them off or wipe them off so they're not fully like on the outside salted. You take the salt off of them. Lay them out, egg, breadcrumb, boom, fry it, done. That's it. And they're so good. They're so good. Your mom grows her own zucchini. That shit goes hard. They're so good. They're so good. Zucchini and eggplant are really prevalent in a lot of Italian, especially Southern Italian, like Sicilian foods and stuff. Or Sicilian Americans, a lot of the time, use both. Oh. Every dish that you can make with meat, there's an eggplant version. Every single one. So they always talk about like eggplant parm, right? Which is like a very Italian American thing. But every single dish, there's like an eggplant version. Honestly, yeah, it was a poverty thing. It was Italian Americans in America. A lot of them were from Sicily. And they came over not very educated. They were usually working in construction and shit like that. And they couldn't always afford a lot of meat. So they took everything that they would normally cook and they made like versions where they replaced the meat with other shit. So eggplant was one of the ones that was used a lot. So a lot of like Italian American food is just super filled with eggplant. And zucchini sometimes. Depending. But they're good. They're good. Turn the healthy thing unhealthy. I mean, when you need calories. You know. You had eggplant parm and it tasted just like meat. Yeah. It's the texture, depending on how you cook it, can be just like it. Not exactly, but very similar. And then the flavor also, like, obviously it doesn't have that irony taste, but it's not so far off that you can't just, like, turn your brain off and have it and feel like it's kind of almost similar, you know? If you don't treat the eggplant correctly, you get soup. Oh, I know. I know. It's so easy to cook them down. They get soft and weird. Ugh. You hate egging, breading, frying things? It's so messy to do. It's definitely an annoying process, yeah. It is. I used to make, I do fried chicken cutlets. I know, I'd eat them. I would do whatever I was going to do to them. But I would always save some on the side. And then slice them and eat them cold for lunch the next day. They're actually really good like that. Really good. Don't type yummers in my chat. It's okay if you don't know. I've got a friend who can't stop saying it. And I saw it and I was like, ugh. I got this friend who won't fucking stop saying it's not Garrick. No. It's fucking Mike and company, dude. They won't fucking stop saying yummers. And I'm like, shut up. They always do it, man. I want it to stop. Manta says stuff like that a ton. Sometimes I want to reach through the screen and kill her, you know, with love. Because she says stuff sometimes, and I'm like, shut up. Yeah, she goes, yummy. I'm like, shut up. I know I can only say that to a friend, though, when they say something like that. I'm like, could you stop? I can only say that to a friend. Oh, my God. Yummy. Sure says that. You were dying yesterday after I raided Mike. Dude. It's so funny. He was genuinely... context, if you weren't here last night, we raided Mike. Mike is on a talking break. He has chronic health issues that give him just all sorts of fucked up issues with his voice. And he has been fine for years. But, like, recently, sometimes he'd be streaming, and you could tell by the end of the stream, he'd be talking, you'd see, like, his eyebrows, like grimace, you know? And, like, you could just tell dude was, like, feeling pain. And, you know, he needed to go on, like, a talking break for a bit, but he's a streamer. It's one of the worst things that can happen to someone who streams. It's it's so stressful for him. It's so bad. But, I and a few other people were like, hey, you could still stream. You could still do it. Just mime. Like, I was like, turn on TTS. Keep playing games. Have your own TTS where you could type a message and hit enter and it will say it out loud. And use, you know, smoke signals. Use smoke signals to communicate with chat, you know, whatever. And do it. You could keep the stream going. And it's been really funny. It's been really, really, really funny. So I'm glad he's having a good time. I'm glad. His specialist doctor told him to. Yeah. Has he said specifically what he has? And, like, has he talked about that? Has he talked about that stuff? I actually don't know what he said on stream, in specific. I guess polyps. Okay, yeah. He's got a few things going on. GERD and polyps, yeah. Okay, yeah. I was making sure he said it before I said it. I don't want to talk about someone's health ever. Unless it's, like, been talked about. Yeah, no, he's got GERD. Which is so rough. He's had to change his diet, everything, because of this. And then the polyps, yeah, are recent too. Which, that's just something that you have to remove. You just have to cut it physically out of somebody, you know? But, yeah. When we raided last night, right, he was explaining, he said, here's the deal. And he was explaining to the raiders from this chat. And he was like, my throat is like hamburger meat. And he was just like, he was just trying to explain his condition. It was funny. But yeah, the GERD is rough. He's told me, oh my God. We hung out at one point. And we were ordering food and he couldn't order anything with tomato sauce on it. And I was like, no, tell me it isn't so. And he was like, it's acidic. The tomatoes are acidic. And I was like, there's a lot of other good stuff you can still have, but it's just, it's like one of the roughest things, man. Rough, dude. Yeah. We've talked about a lot of stuff he's had to change and everything. It's hard. It's hard when you live like one way for forever and then there's a bunch of stuff you suddenly can't do. But so, if you guys find the time, later at night, whenever Mike's streaming, do just visit his stream and hang out because he's like, that's my friend and he's stressed, you know? That shit can do permanent damage to your esophagus. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's really important to do what your doctor says and work with the GERD that you've got. Because if you don't, yeah, some of the lasting damage is really bad. That is also, someone said it earlier, that is why, you know, Corpse has the voice that he has. A lot of it is because he's had GERD his whole life. He's suffered from GERD for a long time. And he has a lot of damage in the area from his own, you know, acidity and all that. And people will be like, oh, his voice is so sexy. And I'm like, bro has suffered so much. You know, and like, thankfully he's built something off of it, but, you know, it's tough. But, yeah. Yeah, he said tomatoes so acidic it used to melt toxic metals off silver platters and poison people. I love it. I like really acidic foods too. I like to put wine in everything I cook. I like to put citrus in everything. I love tomatoes. I love everything. It's just like super acidic. So, yeah, it'd be rough. It'd be rough. But we are going to be on Mike's stream tomorrow. Tomorrow. The 7th. We're going to be there at 6 p.m. Eastern-ish or so. Somewhere around there. And that way I can, like, run a stream with him. Rhubarb is the only good alternative I found that's not acidic but tastes like it. Oh, I love rhubarb. Not everyone likes it, though. I think rhubarb is one that's kind of controversial on whether people like it or not. I think. I like rhubarb, though. I think it's more British. I don't really think a lot of Americans eat rhubarb, honestly. You don't even know what rhubarb is? It's a stick. I'm getting a picture. It's a vegetable. I don't know. I feel like it's a very hit or miss kind of thing with a lot of people. Red celery. It's a good way to put it. Very strong, though. There it is. There it is. It's big in the North Midwest. Oh, is it? I love rhubarb, though. I'll eat it just straight up. Not the thing some people say tastes like soap. No, that's cilantro. That's cilantro. You thought it was a fruit? Yeah, no, it's a vegetable, and it's quite, it's like a snap to it. I like it. I like it a lot. And a rhubarb beer. Actually, yeah, I bet. I have had like a drink that someone made. It was really interesting. It was a friend making drinks at like a get-together. And she didn't want to drink, so she didn't want to make actual cocktails, but she wanted to like make something. And one of the things that she made was like, it was a drink that had rhubarb and something else. Something sweeter with it. It wasn't apple. It was, God, I can't remember. It was good, though. It might have just been strawberry. It might have been strawberry and rhubarb. But it was, that shit was good. That shit was good. And I was like, wow, no one makes, like, rhubarb juice, huh? Nobody really makes it, sells that in the U.S. for the most part. It's possible to find something like that, but yeah. Yeah, they always put it in pie. They always put it in pie, but it was, like, in this drink, and it was really nice. Really, really nice. I think she made a few others, but that was the one that I had because that was the one that she said came out best. Grandma made either cake or compote. Yeah, that is an English word. Out of it, and I loved it. Yeah, yeah. Wonder if you'd like the Northern English soda, dandelion, and burdock. Ugh, no, I don't like stuff like that usually. Ugh. Ugh. I'm not a burdock root fan. Actually, burdock root is used in a lot of Korean food, and oh my god, the number of times I've had like just pickled burdock root. That and fucking bracken. We were talking about bracken earlier. Hold on. Have you ever eaten this? Gosari? This picture. It's like really cheap, so I've eaten a fuck ton of it. It's just these stems from a type of fern. And you just eat it. It's a side dish. I've eaten so much of this. So much. Very good for you. Very good for you. It's all for the nutrients and that's it. Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, what does it taste like? Plant. So if you have seasoned it, as you do, you sit there and ferment it, then it tastes like the sauces and things and flavorings that you ferment it with. But when it's not like super fermented, it's a little more fresh and it's just lightly fermented, it just tastes like plant stem. You know, it gets some of that like harsh plantiness out of it when you ferment it though. So it's really good once it's turned into the fermented dish. Then it's really nice. But when you have it and it's not really like super cooked down or fermented down, then it's kind of, it's just kind of like you might as well just go eat a tree branch, you know? Do you not like bean sprouts? I actually don't, but they don't taste strong, so I'll still eat them anyway because they're good for me, so I put them in everything anyway. I eat them anyway because they're good. They're basically just fiber. They're just crunchy fiber. But yeah, just eating them alone, I don't actually like them. I don't like that flavor at all. Any thoughts on tartar? I love tartar. I always risk it. Not always, but I often risk it. I go to a restaurant, as long as it's not like a super cheap restaurant. They say they have tartar, and I'm like, fuck it, we'll see. And I order it every time. I won't risk it at like certain restaurants for sure, but yeah, I always go for it, dude. I love tartar. I ate this one tartar with matara, actually. And it was so good. We ordered it. It was put on the table, and there were other people that were like afraid of raw meat. So they saw it and they were like, I don't know if I should touch that. And I was like, hey, we're at a nice place. Don't worry. And they were like, that's kind of gross. And I was like, okay, whatever, more for me. And then me and Matara hoovered that shit up. We hoovered it up, man. It was so good. I was like, thank God they don't like it because I wanted to eat this whole plate. Thank God. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. Delicious. So delicious. What about raw egg? Raw egg is fine. I don't actually like egg yolks like alone. I don't really like egg yolks that much. So I kind of avoid it. But when it's with tartar and I mix it together, then I mind it a lot less than I actually like it. I just don't like to eat it alone. Do you know what? Oh my God. You know what my grandfather used to do? You like UK? Yeah, UK is really great. My grandpa used to crack raw eggs and just eat them straight up. Now, this is the one that grew up sleeping in a boiler room on a cot, very poor. Like, legitimately slept next to the boiler because it was the only way to stay warm, okay? So he came from, like, you know, not good conditions. So he would take eggs and he would just crack them into his mouth. Hit the table and just eat the damn egg. And I was like, I would always be like, do you like that? He'd be like, nah, it's just like, I'm just eating it because it's nutrients, like, you know. I was like, okay. Do you want to like put it in a cup and drink it? Like, why do you have to like crack it into your mouth? You know? And he'd be like, it's easy. Then you don't have to wash stuff. You don't have to waste water. And I'm like, okay. He was very, this is, he couldn't throw anything out. He kept everything. He was like, he carried that shit forever. Extreme frugality, all that. But, yeah, I just remember whenever I think about raw eggs, I think about him. Just eating raw eggs like that, man. Crazy. Absolutely insane. So the only time you've been to the U.S. is to New York City for your 21st birthday in 2018. You stayed in the Crowne Plaza on Times Square. Ugh. Stay anywhere else. Not that hotel, but I mean like Times Square. Dad and you were astounded at the food in the U.S. What did you end up eating, though? Did you, like, stay around Times Square for food? Because that's kind of, in my opinion, a lot of the worst food is, like, right near Times Square. Or in it. A lot of the best food is out from there a little bit. Though there are spots near Times Square that are good, but you still have to walk, like, many blocks, which I think is not a long walk, but I have learned over time that when friends visit the city and I'm like, we can walk, it's 10 blocks. That 10 blocks is not just 10 blocks to them. They're usually like dying. I'm always like, yeah, you want to go do touristy shit on 42nd Street? Okay, let's go eat. And let's go eat at this spot that's up near like 50 something, like Central Park area or something, you know? I'll be like, oh, let's go to this restaurant. We'll just walk it. And apparently that's a lot. I have learned over the years. Ew, yeah, you said your grandpa ate head cheese, potted meat, sardines, and mustard sauce, gnarly stuff. Yeah, a lot of the Arab food was like that. I'm not a fan. Brooklyn is best for Middle Eastern, South Asian food, right? I would not group it by borough ever, because there are multiple pockets of each culture in different areas. Like if you want Asian cuisine in general and you go to Chinatown in Manhattan, it's gonna be okay. It's not gonna be bad. It's gonna be good food. But you should go to Flushing and Queens. Just take a train. Boom. Go to Flushing and Queens. Boom, so the best food. But then another spot that's really good for it is also down in Brooklyn. Fucking on Avenue U. Hold on. What's the name of the Homecrest? Is that the name of the town area? I don't know. Yeah, Homecrest. That's an area down in Brooklyn that has a lot of people that used to live in Flushing because it got really expensive there, and they started moving over there, and now there's really good food over there. So like every borough has little pockets of different cultures. And then for South Asian food as well, there are like multiple different neighborhoods. The way to do it is just search, open Google Maps, scan around, and search for restaurants of a specific type. And just keep searching each area, grid searching. And when you find areas where there are pockets of a lot of restaurants of that culture, boom, there you go. Go to that area and try the top rated thing there. That's it. That's all you got to do. All you got to do. And you'll find really good stuff. Grew up also going to restaurants on Avenue U for family Chinese dinners. Definitely top tier stuff there for sure. 100%. Yeah, Avenue U has a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff along it. It's not like the nicest, prettiest neighborhood. It's not bad. Well, depends on where you are in Avenue U. It's not bad though. But a lot of it's not a flashy place. It's very much just like that's a neighborhood where people live, you know. But there's a lot of good Chinese food in like Homecrest down there. Sunset Park is the best Chinese food. Oh, Sunset Park is really good shit. Peter Luger's is worth the trip if you like steak. It is, but I would go to I wouldn't do steak. I'm gonna be honest with you. Steak is one of those things that it doesn't fucking matter, man. Like steakhouses are lame. Okay. They can be good at home. I mean, you can get good steaks everywhere at home, like near you. You don't need to get that like in a specific city. You know what I mean? Like, it's lame as a tourist food, I feel. So Peter Luger can be good, but if you're only there and only able to eat at a certain number of places, I would take steak off of the list of things that you go seek out if you're like in New York City, for example. You know? It's still really good. So if you're like traveling multiple times and you're gonna be able to eat at a lot of places, then I would still go there. Yeah, because it is good. I've been. But if you're traveling once and you're only there for a week, I would skip it. Because yeah, you can get good steaks everywhere in the US pretty much. I would say you just need to try a lot of cultural foods, non-American foods. I would also try a new American restaurant that's higher end, honestly. I would do it. Korean barbecue, yes. I think Korean barbecue spots are good everywhere nowadays. Well, actually, no. The quality has really changed. Never mind. No, now that I think about it, there's a lot of really bad Korean barbecue spots around the US. Because I always have friends be like, we should go get Korean barbecue. And then I go and I'm like, what is this dry ass shit? What do you mean they don't have pork cheek? Like, what the fuck is this? I don't know. Some of it's like really bad. Genuinely. It's still, I think bad Korean barbecue is still good though, because it's just like meat. It's just meat. Just cook it properly. You'll be okay. But a lot of the times the sauces are wrong in the very Americanized ones. And I'm like, as long as you have sauces that are good and people like, that's okay. But they really get rid of like anything with like doenjang. They take off the menu so fast because people don't like stinky stuff. I've learned they don't like stinky stuff. A lot of their traditional soups and things that come off the menu really quick when it's Americanized too. I don't know. Ooh, the place you recommend has dry aged meats. Yeah. You ever been to a Fogo? I have. They're like everywhere, but they're pretty good. Pretty solid. I have. Ooh, it's a good Lebanese restaurant you went to in Birmingham in the UK. Dude. I really like eating lamb, okay? So a lot of food that's like Lebanese, anything that's like Middle Eastern, Mediterranean, some Eastern European, then you get over to like Kazakh food and things like that. There's a lot more usage of lamb. And it's my most favorite thing. Same thing with like Mongolian food, Northern Chinese especially. That whole band, right? I go crazy on so many of these restaurants. There was one Lebanese restaurant I used to go to a lot, actually. And it was like, they make a musat, which is just lamb and this like tomato and onion sauce, but it doesn't taste like an Italian tomato sauce. It's definitely spiced very differently. And that shit on rice. Oh, insanely good. Ever been to Panda Express? Unfortunately, yes. Ew. Thoughts on goat? I like goat too. I like lamb better. Goat's a little more tough usually, but I like whenever it's like meats and things. I like ones that have a little more funk to them instead of them being kind of, I don't know. Beef is really good, but also boring. You know, there's nothing wrong with it, but I would take lamb over beef any day. Any day. Ooh, you went to a ramen restaurant in Tokyo that specialized in lamb meat? Ooh, yeah. Anytime I do like hot pot, I end up eating a lot of lamb. I just get something like that'll numb my mouth, you know? Like a broth that'll like, as you eat it, you cry because it's just so you're just like, eh. And then put a bunch of lamb in it and eat it. It's so good. So good. It is hot pot season, man. It's time. So good. Ugh. It's just a really, really good, a really, really good season for spicy food, I feel. Trying to get your friends to try more ethnic foods. You're going for an Indo restaurant next. Ooh. Yeah, I think, you can get a lot of, ooh, you know what's really good in New York City that I feel like doesn't really get, like talked about enough is there's so much good Caribbean food. So much good Caribbean food. I think one of the reasons people don't always go to eat it is because they're scared of people. They don't like the neighborhoods sometimes. I don't think that fucking matters. Go eat. The food is so good. A lot of really, really, really good spots, especially just anything generally Creole, generally like Haitian food. Oh, insane, insane. A lot of places that do a lot of good like Caribbean bakeries and like sweets and stuff too. Really, really, really nice. So I would 100%. If you're going to New York City, there's a ton of Caribbean immigrants. And it's so good. It's so good, man. Yeah, curried goat, oxtail soup. A lot of really hearty stuff, and it tends to be priced pretty well, honestly. So I would definitely go check that out. 100%. 100%. Donkey tail soup. Jamaican food place near you gave you food poisoning. That's the problem. Okay, that's the problem with some of the smaller places, especially when run by immigrants. They really just don't fucking care about the health standards. And I also don't sometimes in certain cases, but I don't want to get food poisoning. You know? So I have had my fair share of run-ins with that kind of thing. You know, it happens. It happens. 100%. But it's worth the risk. It's worth the risk. For sure. Ooh, you said the only thing in your state is Indian. That's good, though. At least there's something. Said, Giga, I keep getting ads for head shavers on your stream. I'm a 22-year-old woman with thick hair. Is bald the new hotness? Are you shaving your head? Well, this is a bald positive stream. Yes, it is. It is absolutely. I am behind the model. I'm using a voice changer, and I am a 50-year-old bald man. And I think there's nothing wrong if you are too. Nothing wrong with that, okay? So yes, absolutely, we are bald positive here. 100%.
The Geegler.
Guys, NL isn't old. He's not 50. 50 isn't even that old. Maybe in comparison. But bro's in his 30s, dude. She's becoming Guarminian. Every time I say 100%, my brain is like 100%. Every fucking time. No, baby, 100%. It's rotted my brain. Completely rotted my brain. I'm glad certain people left my circle because I'm saying fewer Guarmanian phrases, thank God. Thank God. I don't know. Said your mom's 65 and she's in better shape than you? You know, my older mother is also in like great shape. I think she could probably hike further than me. She's in insane shape. Yep.
Hello GEEGA, I love your content. My husband watches it, and if he's watching now, I know about Kelly. Your shit's outside less than free.
First time chatter, by the way. Let him know! Let him know! Let him know! Yeah, fuck him. Yeah, but I do have to say, are you bragging about having a husband here? Because you're gonna make chat cry. They're gonna cry. You're gonna make them very upset. Hey, you know what? Kick him out, and you can stay here now, okay? We got you. First time husband bragger. Usually we just get wife braggers. No, no, no. We've had people here talk about their husbands. We've had female chatters be like, yeah, you know, my husband likes that game too. It happens. Oshi, 57 months. Jesus Christ, dude. Yes, I've had male chatters talk about their husband. Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah. Or when I talk about some female thing, I'm like, oh yeah, I shed hair all the time. I feel like us girls do, right? And then there'll always be someone who'll be like, yeah, my my girlfriend who lives with me, yeah, she loses a lot of hair too. I fight all the time. It's so annoying. Oof. We get a bunch of those every time. And like they don't mean it like that, but like it reads like that, you know? Always, always. That's just so funny. Girlfriend from Canada. You know what's so fucking funny? One of my other streamer friends from GTA has a girlfriend in Canada. And he always talks about her, and he's like, when he's talking in character, he's like, yeah, my wife, my Canadian wife. And we're always like, oh, sure, she's real. He's like, she is. I'm gonna go visit her. And I'm like, okay. We always make fun of him. We're like, whatever, buddy. For the record, yes, she is real. But I always pretend she's not. Like, whatever you fucking say, man. Biggest bane of long hair, the shedding. Oh, man. I wish I just, like, didn't shed. You know what the worst is? You know what the worst is? Finding your own hair in the wheels of your chair. Of your computer chair. You ever occasionally, like, do a cleanup of your area? You do a big clean and you're like, it's time. It's time to try and get the hair out of the wheels. Oh, I try to do it, like, frequently so that it doesn't build up and become, like, a problem that I could never deal with, but... Yeah, or the shower. Oh. Yep. Yep. You have to cut it sometimes. When it keeps going around and around and around, you know. Yeah.
Hello,
Hello.
I lurk here and other lady VTuber streams.
Okay.
I see the word hag used as a streamer's self-descriptor. What constitutes hag, and is it a compliment, or insult, or neither?
It depends on who you talk to. So, outside of this community, the word hag is it's basically derogatory. It's like a mean word because you're talking about like an old woman, an old crone. Think of like a gnarled witch, you know, that's the kind of imagery it brings up. So it's a very negative word to describe a woman with. However, this community at some point, I don't know when or how, started using the word to talk about any woman. Like, I think the cutoff is like over 30. I think if you're in your 30s or beyond is what they use it for. And it's used more nicely and endearingly in this community. It's just like older woman, and that's kind of it. That's all it's supposed to be. But the problem is you don't know who's using it that way and who has all like the typical English imagery in their head of like a gnarled old witch, you know? So that's why like some people like hear it and they're like, yay, and then other ones hear it and they're like, what the fuck? You know? Yeah, kind of like unk for dudes. Unk could be like they're just calling you a little old, but they just mean in a nice matured way. It could even mean like the cool uncle. But at other times, it's like, all right, you fucking old bitch, you know? So, like, it's hard to tell, honestly. Very hard to tell. But, I'm someone who's read a lot, and the word hag has always been used in writing to talk about someone who's like elderly, like someone who's like minimum 60, and usually it's like very negative. Often the person themselves is like a bad person, right? Like I'm tricking Hansel and Gretel so I can bake them in my oven. Then yeah, you would describe that person as like a hag, right? Like that's how the word officially kind of came in prior to like the last, I don't know, like 2-3 years with VTuber fans. I don't know. So I don't use the word to describe like friends or myself or anything, because like as someone who's read a lot, I don't know, that's just the imagery in my head personally. So I don't love it. Yeah, like Gruntilda. Like Gruntilda, exactly. Exactly. But it's sort of like a joke more so, because like, you know how they'll call any woman over 30 like old? It's people who don't think that that's bad using it as like a joke, right? Because a lot of people who are in their 30s joke about themselves being old, because people who are in like their younger 20s will always look at people in their 30s and be like, oh, you're so old. But when you're in your 30s, you're like, I really feel the same, and I'm not, though. Right? So because those perspectives clash, a lot of the older folks will use like words to jokingly refer to themselves as old. Yeah, it's like ironic. So I think that's kind of like what the word has turned into, right? It's like calling a mature older woman a hag, sort of ironically, you know? But again, it depends on who's saying it. As I've replaced the term spinster. Spinster is more specific in situation. Your 30s are like way better than your 20s. Yeah, 100%. It's very, the 30s are your 20s, except you like kind of get it now a little better. You're a little more sure of like who you are, what the world is like, what you care about. You care less about stupid shit on average. Yeah, it feels like 30s when life actually starts. Yeah, I think 20s tend to feel more like you're stumbling through it. And you're like faking it till you make it, you know? And then you get a little established. You've gone through life for a bit, so you feel comfortable, and now you hit your 30s, and then you're like, okay, well, now I'll like live comfortably, normally, and spend my time how I want, etc., etc. So it tends to be better for a lot of people. A lot of older folks, when you ask them to look back and be like, what age would you want to go back to? Or like, what era would you want to relive? A lot of the time they're like, oh, my 30s. 100%. I actually have money in my 30s. Yeah, I feel like times is hard, but typically people are doing better in their 30s than 20s, 100% with the money situation. Yeah, yeah. It's at least better, usually. So I bet you the first person to use hag in the VTuber way was just a mean chatter. My guess is it probably came from people like trying to be a little mean with a little irony, and then it just turned into like a funny thing, you know? Yeah, that's my guess at least. Germa blew up in his 30s. You too can be Germa. I think a lot of streamers that are doing well right now started doing way better as they got older. Actually, NL is a good example. He's been around for forever. And I feel like he's always doing kind of well. But he didn't become like a name that I heard other streamers all talking about. I didn't hear him like being mentioned in other types of communities until very recently. I don't know. Millennials are so hot right now. So hot right now, dude. It's true. What tip can you give to someone in his early 20s? Don't put spaces at the end of your sentence before your punctuation, dude. Also, it's his, like, HIS. Max dude hit his stride in his mid-30s? Yep. 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 I think, don't be fucking stupid. But the best way to not be stupid is to just constantly hold yourself back so you think a little more. I think when you're younger, you feel much more impulsive, more impatient, etc. A lot of people just rush to do shit. Just constantly hold back and sit there to let yourself think for a moment before doing something. I find people are way more impulsive in their 20s. If you are the type to be really careful, though, I would give you the opposite. Maybe you are that person. You're very, very careful and you don't take leaps of faith. Then it's the opposite. So I guess the general advice is just do things that are not typical of yourself, and try that out now, because it's likely that you're going to be a certain way throughout your 20s. And then in your 30s, you're going to look back and go, I should not have only been that way. People tend to get very stubborn and do things the one way they know how, because they don't have experience of trying out living in different ways, right? So a lot of people's 20s are very formative in that if you're a passive person, for example, you never learn to assert yourself. You finally assert yourself once toward the end of your 20s, and then you're like, oh, wait, I should have been doing that all along, right? Vice versa. Maybe you're super assertive, but you like never take a step back and listen to others. You finally do it when you hit like 31, and then you're like, uh-oh, I should have done that, you know? So whatever like way you are, whatever type of person you are, try the opposite shit in your 20s and see what makes sense for you, and kind of you can work into yourself a little bit. Because yeah, like you said, you're like playing catch up now. A lot of people feel that way. Yeah. A lot of people feel that way. Said you were a workaholic in your 20s, left it without any real friends. Now you're in your 30s, and you're attending parties and going on trips with friends. Yeah, I literally never, I never went on a trip or vacation that was pure recreation until way later. And even then, that's still rare. But now I try to like go to like a family or something and just hang out for a bit. You know, if they're a little farther, maybe I will take 2 days to go stay with them or something, you know, instead of being like, oh, when I have a work thing down there, then I'll see you briefly, right? Like shit like that. All the traveling I did was almost always like work related or something similar, you know? Yeah. Yeah. I feel you. I'd just try everything, I would say too. Just try everything. And don't let shit happen like too fast. I think that's the other thing, is if you spend all your time just doing, your 20s are gonna go by way too fucking quick. At the same time, if you're doing nothing, you're at home bed rotting all the time, and you're doing nothing, go do something. So, right. So whatever your natural state is right now, I feel like people in their 20s are likely to just kind of doing the same thing a lot because it's what they're comfortable with. Push yourself and do something else. A lot of people don't really like try shit until their 30s, when a friend convinces them to try something that they haven't tried before. And it's very worth doing stuff like that earlier, because then, you know, while you're like young and apt, you want to have as much time as you can to do this stuff. Like I've got a lot of friends that I've gotten into, you know, going to the park to go for walks, go on a hike, things like this. And they really liked it, but they didn't start until a lot later. And they were like, wow, I should have been doing this the whole time. I could have had a great time and spent way less money, you know, way less money doing this as an activity because I really like it than some of the other shit I did. And I'm like, yeah, it could have been a good hobby for you. But, you know, almost 21, still haven't started college. How cooked am I? Well, what do you want to do? Did you take a gap year and then just stay there? I mean, I think if you've been working, you have more work experience than anyone else your age. If you've been working, depends on what. But there are so many jobs that you can do that don't actually need a full degree, or you can get that degree and it'll help you, but it won't actually teach you anything. So you could just get by on work experience and aptitude, etc. So it depends on what you're trying to do. But I don't think there's ever a bad time to go back. I really don't think that there is a bad time. Marine bio? Oh yeah, whatever. Study that whenever. whenever you want to go for it. You're not going to be at any sort of disadvantage at all. If anything, they might like you better if they're interviewing you and you're just like a little bit older. Than some dude who's like 22 is like, I want to be a marine biologist, you know? But go and get a job at an aquarium doing something that maybe you don't need that marine bio experience for. Maybe you're just like doing like shitty work, but go be there and show face, and there's a chance you might be able to get something eventually. Maybe you work at a factory that makes things relating to that, and they also have like fish farms, whatever, and they need someone to do annoying, difficult, backbreaking work, you know, etc. Being in that environment might lead you to something good. So, you know, I would still put yourself in that environment. Like a tuna canning factory. I don't know about that. More like the fish farm part, but you know. You're 28 when you went back to college after military. Yeah, I know a lot of people that have gone a bit later, and it was totally fine for all of them. It was totally fine. So I would just do it. I know plenty of people that did take like a gap year or two to work first so that they could get some money to have, so that way they could then go to school and have funds and not have to work through it the whole time. Just for extra shit. And it worked out. It worked out. I think it mattered more if you were like pushing yourself to be married by 25 and you were old fashioned like that, you know, then it matters to go to school earlier and get out of school and have a job early because, you know, like the clock's ticking kind of thing. But if that's not a concern of yours, then I really don't think the timing matters that much. The only thing that does is the earlier you're working and the earlier you're putting money away, the earlier you can start retirement funds and you can start contributing to them. Starting that as early as possible is important. That is the only thing that like really I would say matters. Outside of that, Ooh, your job offers 100% tuition reimbursements. You went back to 25. That's really good, dude. That's really good. Really, really, really nice. Maximizing my Roth IRA and my brokerage accounts. Yeah. Dude, it's tough out here as a streamer trying to figure that shit out. In a good way. Man. Tiring this economy. Hey, fake it till you make it, I always say. Fake it till you make it, man. Please don't give advice like this in my chat. You said don't just collect money. They drop so much in value. Transfer to gold or land. Stop. Stop talking now. Buy silver and bury it in your backyard now. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do it. Oh, man. Oh, man. Ooh. One of your favorite investments? I'm not going to go into that, dude. I'm not giving anyone my edge. Turnips. Every Sunday I buy turnips, and then throughout the week I find the best day to sell them. It's the stock market. The metal hoarders are doomsday preppers from Temu. I know. One of my friends was like, I want to buy silver. I was like, yeah. Who told you that was a good idea? And I was just waiting. I was like, say it's a radio show host. Just say it. Just say it. And they wouldn't. They were like, I just been researching. I was like, you ain't researched shit. Someone said that on the television, and you're like, I'm gonna buy a silver bullion. A bullion. Man. The real currency is dried seeds, okay? dried seeds. Because when the rapture comes and some of us are left behind, when the world dies, you're gonna need to grow vegetables to live. There are those people too. Invest in Labubu. Yeah. Guys, I'm telling you, those Pokemon cards are gonna be worth so much. So much. Your personal finance class, the teacher was a no BS dude. People would ask him for stock picks and he would just say, did I mention it? Then it's a risk. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, there's no person in this world who is more strong and stressed than a day trader, than a successful one. Than someone who actually like makes a living day trading and is good at it. Those people are like from another fucking planet. Insane. Insane, man. Metal is for squares, by Giga Merchant said. Dude, I'm telling you, this Boris plushie, shit's gonna be exclusive, okay? Exclusive. Exclusive. And if you buy him, you're gonna be one of the few. One of the few. You know a guy who does that? We mod for the same streamer. Dude hasn't slept in weeks. Yeah, I've known a few. I've known a few. So that's my uncle. That man just looks at numbers all day and chain smokes. Yeah. I feel like anyone I've known that's done day trading just sat there and smoked the whole time. Unironically. Shit's crazy. I had a family friend. Dude retired at 50. 52? Around 50. He did nothing but day trading his whole life. So he was like old Wall Street, doing that shit like in person. Like crazy when he was younger. And then, you know, eventually that moved to be like something you could do properly online, the current version of it. The old version of it, doing that shit in person, very different. But he ended up there and he ended up making so much money. And then he just retired at like 52. And he was one of those people who, he had a good amount of money, but he didn't look like it. So every day he'd wear like a Hawaiian shirt, shorts, and flip-flops. And he looked like kind of unemployed, you know? He didn't look like a rich guy. He looked just pretty unemployed. And you'd be like, you okay, buddy? But dude would walk outside and he'd be like, let's get in my Maserati, you know? Yeah, beach bum rich. Right, like an Adam Sandler film. Dude was like, that shit was great. Standard gun dealer fit. Exactly. And he smoked a lot, and then as soon as he stopped trading, he quit. He quit cold turkey. He was like, I don't need this anymore. It was funny because it was, we'll call him Jeff. We kept calling it like the Renaissance of Jeff. Because when he was like, guys, I'm finally quitting. And like, we only knew him as the guy who does this thing his whole life, you know? And then like 4 p.m. hits, ding, 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 market closes. Okay. He would like come by some spots and we'd see him around, you know? So Jeff finally one day is just like, I'm quitting this shit. And we're like, what? Jeff, no way. And he's like, oh yeah, I've made enough. I've put away enough. I'm chilling. I'm going to retire. This was the goal. I wanted to retire early. And we're like, all right, what are you going to do in your retirement? And he said immediately, he's like, I'm not smoking anymore. And we were like, Jeff, there's no way. Because he would smoke cigars constantly. And we were like, Jeff, you're going to die if you quit. That stuff keeps you alive at this point. And he was like, I'm going cold turkey. And the thing is, he didn't want to like do it alone. He didn't want to sit in his house. So he would come by this spot. It was like a neighbor's place. Mookie, thank you for the 5 gifted. Jeff would sit on this porch of this friend's place and just be going through cold turkey.
If you fail to purchase a Boris plushie, you'll be babysat and have a Boris-shaped hole in your heart for the remainder of your life.
Yeah. I heard all of that. Yeah, with that thing said. Yup. So true. Thanks, Palpatine. Anyway, so Jeff says, I'm going cold turkey. I'm not going to smoke anymore. He sits on a friend's stoop for like 2 weeks. Just refusing to smoke. And he was like, I need accountability, so I'm going to sit here. And this friend's stoop had like, you know, like a card table and like a spot to hang out, everything. They had like a grill. So Jeff would sit there all day and he'd be like, don't let me be home alone. I'll end up buying cigars. Don't let me be alone. And people would just like walk past and sit with Jeff for a while. He was coughing up like black gunk. You know, I don't know if any of you have ever smoked and quit, but you know, you got tar in you and shit, and you start like expelling it. When you're not actively smoking, you start expelling this shit. So dude was like, yeah, he was like purging it. we're like bringing Jeff water, grabbing food, sitting down, eating with Jeff. And he just was like refusing to just be home alone too much because he was like, I don't want to slip into it. I don't want to give in, you know? And so everyone just kind of like helped him through this withdrawal. It was so funny because this ice cream truck would pass by. And even the guy running the ice cream truck knew about Jeff, and he would give Jeff free ice cream every day. Because Jeff would be like, hey, man, yeah, no, I'm just out here, you know, I'm cold turkey on cigars and cigarettes and shit, smoking. You know. He also wouldn't drink either. He's like, I'm on the wagon, you know, all this stuff. And the ice cream man would give him ice cream. It was cute. He'd be like, maybe this will help you get through it. And he'd give him a little something. It was cute. Jeff eventually was able to quit. He was able to quit. And it was the renaissance of Jeff. And then after that, he was like, wow, maybe I could like go hiking. Maybe I could start like doing a lot of like physical stuff. And we were like, no, you fucking can't. Your heart rate is shit. No, you can't. And he's like, oh yeah, let's go for a walk. Then one day he was like, I want to walk through the entirety of Central Park. I want to like walk through the whole thing. I want to go around like Sheep Meadow, like walk around the circle of it. And I want to do like the full Central Park walk. Cause that place is huge. It's like a full day hike for some people. And we were like, Jeff, you can't do this. You have to go for short walks first. And he was like, nah, I quit smoking, so I'll be fine. He was like, he was walking and he was wheezing. We walked through like a quarter of it and he was like, like dying. And he's wearing his shitty flip flops. And he's like, my feet hurt. We're like, Jeff, you should have worn fucking sneakers. Oh, it was so funny. It was so funny. We took him to do so many things because he actually had like daytime available on a weekday. Dude, the renaissance of Jeff was a great time. This is years ago. It was so good. You fuck with Jeff. He was great. He was great. I mean, I say he was. He's still around, but you know. That time was great. Is Jeff better now? Well, he's not a day trader anymore, so yes. Yes. He's so much better now. We would just play cards all the time. What's he up to now? Living. Dude eats food. He just likes to eat food. He's got some hobbies. He goes and does his hobbies. He joined like... He's not in it anymore. He does like a thing just with friends now, but he joined a walking club. There's just a club of people that would wake up every morning. There's a lot of these in the city. And they would pick a spot to meet, and then they go for a unique walk every day. And they just walk and talk. And he joined one of those for a while, and now he like has friends that do it with him, so they just do that. It's good. It's good. He said a home loan broker, you know, he chills at the local German bistro bar. You just chat about stuff. He retired and cut coffee, alcohol, and tobacco cold turkey. Yeah. My favorite are those people that just have like a weird hangout spot. Like, I know one guy that just goes into this one bodega, and he's done this for like 20 years. He just goes into this one bodega and just hangs out there. He doesn't He doesn't own the bodega. He doesn't work at the bodega. He just kind of like knows the guys that work there. And he would go in and like buy food and like sit there and talk with the guys for a little bit. And it turned into him just going there even if he had nothing to buy, and he just sits there and talks. And then because he started sitting there, they put some chairs out. And now there's like 4 people that will do it. It's like in like older movies when you'd see like a bunch of dudes just hanging out in a barbershop. And you'd be like, who does that? But they just do it because they know like an employee and they like talking to him. I know this one guy. So like usually those people are kind of like in and out, but I know one guy that's just in this one bodega literally every day. I had another friend that would come by this one spot that I would be at a lot, and he was an old war vet, and he didn't really like have any family, and he just like came out to check out this one place one time, and we just kind of like talked to him, and I like learned his story, and I was like, you should probably come here more. like what do you do? And the dude did nothing with his life, like nothing. He just sat home and watched TV, and we were like, come here. And now he's like a really close friend. He just walks over to this one spot every day, and that's it. You know? It's great. It's a group of 4 old retirees that sit outside a local donut place. Always say hi when you see them in the morning. Yeah, that shit's the best. That shit is the best. I'm in New York City now. That's one of those reasons why I really, like, can't move. I really, like, can't. When I say, like, I need to be in the Northeast, and I need to be in the city, it's shit like that. You know? Just knowing that there are, like, regulars at certain spots. I can be a regular at a certain spot. This kind of stuff. I like, need to have that. Because I don't think that is as prevalent in a lot of other areas in the U.S. And I don't like that. I think you can find that in any city, but I think it's much more common in the Northeast. I don't know. A lot more preservation of that sort of like standard community culture. But I think it's hard to have that without like really big density, you know? So. I said sitting alone watching TV isn't great, I say, as I sit alone watching Twitch TV. Yeah, but you can type here and you can interact here. That's the big difference. That's why I like streams so much more than I like sitting there and watching TV. Because you still get social interaction. There's a community here. When I am not live, you can go in the Discord and you can still talk to people from this community. It's still a community, right? TV, you get nothing back. Nothing. No one to talk to. No one will hear you. You know, like that's... It's okay to watch some TV, but when you're like older and that's the only thing you do, you know. So I think live streams are the way moving forward personally. You know. Lurkers. Some people do like to just watch, but I mean, you have the option. You do indeed. You can get in really small towns too. You can. The problem is in smaller towns, suburbs, etc., there's a lower population. So there will always be like those little pockets of community where these people go to this thing and those people sit at that place, whatever. But if you don't fuck with them, that's it. You know, whereas in a dense city, there are a lot more of those. So if you don't fuck with one, you can go find another, you know, and within a radius, within an area that you might actually frequently go to. So I feel like that's the benefit. In Sweden, you see that kind of thing with immigrant communities a lot. You're jealous of their 8 hours a day of drinking coffee in a cafe as after work. Yeah. Honestly, it's underrated. It's underrated having a spot you can just go to and shoot the shit with people every day. That's why I'm like, yeah, streaming is the way. Because at least, I think with the internet, within communities and things, there's too many people and everything's so big and scaled out. It's really hard to have that sense of actual community in a lot of places. A lot of shit isn't even real people typing. It's fucking bots and everything. And a lot of things are not really like one spot you go to see similar people all the time, you know? But with a chat, with a Discord, you actually do have that. So that's why I like this kind of stuff a lot. And I, before I was a streamer myself, I would watch a lot of Twitch. I would just sit around and watch a lot of Twitch because that's what I liked, you know? I would either go outside and have people in a place that I would hang out with, or I'd do it online. And that's how I liked to fill a lot of my time, you know? So, GEEGA's Twitch and Discord is our bodega. Dude, this is the barbershop. You're like the barbershop dudes in Coming to America. Have you ever seen that movie? It's one of my favorite movies. Dude, the barbershop scene is the best one. And there's like the old man sitting in the corner just yelling. Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall. Yeah, yeah. We gotta find the old man. Actually, they're all old. Dude. We should watch this in the Discord. Texas, are you here? Texas! I'm putting it in the recommendations. Texas! Hold on, barbershop scene. He's planning mafia shit. Planing. Hold on. This one. Where's the old man? Yeah, here we go. Dude. That shit is so real. The thing is, this movie's set in Queens. It's set in New York City. Okay, so it's like... This shit is set in, like... I see this and I'm like, I literally know every one of these people. I know 20 of every one of these people. And that's the kind of shit that I would do. I won't... Obviously, I'm not going to say which place I always would go to, but... There were a few places, and there was one spot that was like that. Like, let's say it's like, you know, going to like a random barbershop, like a random whatever the fuck kind of place. And I would just sit around and talk to people. And everyone would usually be pretty old. It would be like a huge range of people from all walks of life would just come in, do whatever they're doing, and then some of them would just stay, and we'd just like fuck around in the corner, like just sitting there. And a lot of these people are people that like I had nothing in common with. Nothing in common with any of these people. None of us had anything in common with any of each other. We would just like sit around and talk anyway. And that shit was great. And they would argue about the dumbest shit like this. I remember one of them was talking about, oh, Gleason's gym. Gleason's. And they were like, oh, you know, Gleason's gym was cool, but it was just well known. It wasn't the best one. That's this legendary boxing gym in Brooklyn. Okay. And it was like a lot of really big boxers, because boxing was like a huge thing in New York City for a long time. That was where the boxing scene was. And a lot of like the really good boxers trained there. And I remember this guy arguing about boxing and Gleason's gym. And he was trying to say Gleason's gym wasn't that good. He was like, it's just that the good boxers went there, but it's not that the gym made them. And then some other guy walks in the door, had never spoken to any of us. It was just some newer guy. He walked in and he was like, fuck you, that place is the best. And they started just like it nicely, just screaming at each other about their like opinions of like whether or not this gym was good. And it was just like, whenever I see that scene of the barbershop, I'm just reminded, because you know how like Eddie Murphy walks in and those guys are already arguing? Imagine if instead Eddie Murphy walks in and just starts screaming at all of them. Like that. I just remember that one argument, and that dude came in and was like screaming, and then he came back 2 days later and he started hanging out every week. He just became part of like the whole circle instantly. Oh man, everyone talk about food all the time, man. Pretty much every boxer you've heard of has been to Gleason's. I know. Well, that's the thing. We were all like, what are you talking about? That's literally the spot. This is where everyone gets like all the best sparring in that they want to do. Like this is where it happens. And bro was trying to say the gym wasn't that good. We were like, what is your fucking problem, man? I just love that dude just walked in and said, fuck you, instantly. He didn't like start and then ramp up. He just ran and said, fuck you, Gleason's is the best. Oh, it was good. He was a great addition. You ever shout at argue like that? I don't. I don't have that in me. It would just be people yelling and I'd be like, I don't know what you're fucking talking about. Like I would like curse a lot, but I wouldn't scream at people, you know? GEEGA's bodega. We you know, I should get a bodega background. We should do it. That's how men make friends. You're right. Women could never. You're so true. That's right, King. You're not a yeller, not on purpose. Yeah, I'm not much of a yeller either. I can't really, I don't know. When I raise my voice, I'll only do it if I need to, volume-wise, to be heard. And that's it. But, like, in general, if there's space to speak instead of yelling, I will always just speak. I don't know. It just blows out my voice. It does nothing for me. Yeah, it's a lot of energy. And I usually am not actually that mad. I'm the opposite of anger issues. I, like, don't get angry enough. You know how, like, sometimes people get frustrated and they, like, get so mad that they, like, punch a wall? Or they, like, have to punch a pillow. They have to scream. They have to yell. They're like, oh! Like, they're genuinely, like grunting. I, like, never feel that way. Even when something is so maddening. It's like, crazy. I've never felt the urge to, like, actually get physical purely out of anger. You know? Or yeah, like, squeeze the steering wheel really hard. Like, even that, I don't have, like a physical anger reaction. I don't want to yell. I just, like, I don't have that. I think it's because I got low T, all right? I got low T. But, yeah, I don't have that, so... I don't know. And it's not like I don't feel angry, but like my instinctual thing is like, well, let me think through this. How can I communicate how I'm feeling? How can I make this be changed? It's not like I'm so mad I can't even think. Grr. I don't know. How about when you're alone? No, it doesn't change. Yeah, Garrick, you said, I have, like, immediate annoyance, and once I get, like, a erg or oof out, I'm good. Yeah, right? Like, it's, like, so short-lived. I don't know. I don't have that, like... I don't just sit there and spiral on a thought and then, be, like, work myself up and go punch a wall. I just don't have that. I don't know. I don't know, man. I know, I saw Milky. Give me a sec. I'm opening it. Hold on. I gotta move you over here. Ooh. Yes, Milky, very good. Approved. No complaints. Honestly, perfect on both. Very cute. He's helping me with something. Thank you. Ping again if you have updates again and you need me to say anything, Milky. All good to ping in chat. Congrats on being the most mentally sound Twitch streamer. I think there are plenty like me. It just, you know, None of us get clipped. I think being like a normal adjusted adult is like not wacky or quirky, so people don't really want to like you know, clip it and post it on LSF or some shit. But if you like say something, ooh, so crazy, you know, then yeah, then that'll get clipped and you'll be on fucking, I don't know. People will go crazy at you. Crash House get clips? 100%. Always, always. If you freak out over something, if you get really upset over something, like big amounts of negative emotion always get clipped and posted. And then everyone, or if it's something where people feel like it's time to weigh in. Ugh. 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 Yeah, this is a good point. You said, I hear being calm all the time can sometimes be an anxiety or ADHD thing, like you're calm in crazy situations because you're usually imagining being in crazy bad situations. Well, I do have OCD, and I've talked about how, you know, that is with imagery sometimes. But I don't think that that's really the big factor here. But that could be true for some. Also, thank you for the prime, Micro. Thank you. LSF is the worst for those types of clips. Dude. Did you see... Did you see Wubby's Sipgate? Did you see that? I don't know if any of you saw this shit. Is actually so funny. It's manufactured drama. Okay. So he's always had this bit. He's always had this thing. He's got gamer subs, okay? He's got gamer subs. And he purposefully made a clip. So he wanted to do this bit. And he decided to do it. He makes a clip. And the clip is him admitting that he fakes his sips on stream. So he takes sips of gamer subs, but he's not actually sipping. And he like shows how he does it. The thing is, that's fake. He was just making that clip. And then it got posted to LSF. And suddenly it became like all these people being like, what the fuck? And oh my God, you know, and like saying crazy stuff. And it was like, it was all manufactured. But his community, yeah, it was just rage bait. His community, it was just like an experiment, see what would happen. They were all in on it. So of course they're all like on his own subreddit and like on LSF and all these places being like, I can't believe this. I've watched him for years. And it was like, oh, it was so funny. It was so successful. It was so successful. Like, you know, like that shit was hilarious. And I was looking at that and I was like, oh my God, you can actually just manufacture this shit so easily. So easily. I know, Kish. Yeah, no. It wasn't something he wanted. When I say they, I mean other people. Yeah, no, he didn't post it to LSF. But it was like for his own, yeah, it was for his own community. And it just like, it was like a moment he made happen just to like get at his own people, right? Because like they play jokes at each other and totally fine. But the moment that shit got posted, it was just like, oh man. We used tilde to differentiate between who knew and who didn't. People lost their minds when we used tilde. yeah, I saw that. That was crazy. You guys actually had like a secret code to show who knows it's fake and who doesn't. Like that. Which is funny because then when you look back at it, you can like read through threads and you can see like exactly who like knows it's rage bait and knows it's a joke. It was rage bait on his own community. It wasn't meant to be like for the wider, you know, internet. But that shit is like hilarious. It was so good. But yeah, and then I remember like it was one of my friends in like a friend's Discord posted it in there and was like, I saw it was a link from LSF and I was like, please don't ever link anything from here. I was like, I don't want to see any of it. And they were like, no, look at this one. And I saw it was a Whoopi clip. And I saw it was Sipgate. I was like, no. It got posted. It was so bad. So bad. Because you just know it's going to get out of hand, dude. Oh, it was crazy. But I look at that and I'm like, dude, honestly, I'm convinced that a lot of people manufacture like most of the drama that you see out there and post it to that place and other similar places themselves on alt accounts, or they like hire someone else to do it just to keep themselves going. I've been convinced of this for a while, for a long while, but it works. It absolutely works. Which is crazy, crazy. Fake beefing has been a thing for a long time. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like, a lot of drama that's gone on, you know, everything's very black and white. People like to collectively have, like, you know, the whole internet kind of decide that like one person is bad. But there are a lot of scenarios I've just kind of watched quietly, like seeing them happen, and I'm like, I think everyone here is bad. And of course I don't like go and pick apart specific situations and talk about like not my drama, you know, whatever. But I just feel like a lot of the stuff I've seen with like Twitch drama and all that the past however many years, I'm just like, I think all these people are pretty not good. But I think the world is like that. The difference is these people have their dirty laundry aired, sometimes involuntarily. So I don't know. I don't know. Everybody's just so dumb. Yeah. I also think there are a lot of people that pretend to be dumber. It's another thing I've noticed over the years. I think there are a lot of, especially female streamers. Like sometimes they'll do a dumb thing that is legit just them, but I think they also play into it and they pretend that like everything they do and say is like that same level. And I just, for some of them, I just don't believe it. You know, like I see them act a certain way and I'm like, I don't believe you. Hold on. Quick note to my editor for a different thing. There we go. It's a brand. Yeah. Yeah. Isn't girl failure, boy failure very marketable? Yeah, I'm not talking about just that though. Like, I'm not talking about any VTubers on this one. I mean like like there's a lot of like top flesh streamers that I think do that very heavily. Or I think when there's some drama that happens to them and they're kind of on the losing side and they should stop talking to make it go away. I think a lot of the time, or not go away, but like, you know, like there's nothing they could say to make it better. I think a lot of the time they keep talking because it lets them extend out the drama. Everything that they say that people jump on means more viewers for them. I think they just keep doing it. They're just milking it because they make money. They make money even if they're on the wrong side, you know? Or not the wrong side, but the losing side, I'll say. But yeah. It's very interesting. It's very interesting how it all turns out sometimes. And this is why I'm going to manufacture stories about Garrick and how he's done me wrong. How he's done me so wrong. I don't know, man. We'll come up with something, Garrick. We'll come up with something. You do it again. No. No, man, no. We gotta take him out. Garricus 51 drives a Prius. Are you freaking kidding me, dude? Are you freaking kidding me? What the hell? What the hell? Are we playing RV game, by the way? When are we doing that? I know we said we might do it today, but I figured it'd be like nighttime because Garrick, you stream late. Can you confirm in the group chat? I'll type in there. Because I have stuff written in my title that I will be doing, but I can also swap any of that for that game if times change. For the record. Stating that. Stating that. Shirley Syke hasn't forgotten. No, no, no. It's supposed to be me, Garrick, Dread, Shaddy. We're gonna play it. Hi, Baha. Me too. Me too. Soon. Soon. I was getting a head count today from like another Discord, and then I'm gonna grab a couple other friends for it, Baha. Soon. Baha. Would you say shame is a double-edged sword? Social pressure in that way could be really bad and used to target people in bad ways, but also sometimes people lack any shame. That's the real problem. Yeah. 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 Would a quote-unquote drama month have a significant impact on income in the short term, or is it more like a salience thing in the long term? I don't know what you mean by that. Do you mean like a person being involved in drama themselves, or do you mean a person like talking about drama for a month? To cash in. What do you mean by that, Pyra? I mean, being involved in it? I feel like that depends on everyone's situation. Like, if you're like the bad guy, you're gonna lose people no matter what. Might as well farm it. Right? If you're seen by the internet as like the good guy, farming it for pity points also will work. Also will work. However, I do think you lose out on, you're gonna get people in your community that don't want to like hear you lamenting about this thing. They don't want to see you genuinely upset. It's different if you're talking about it in like an informative or interesting kind of way or something, but usually it's just them like complaining, you know, or like shitting on somebody. And that sort of like really heavy negativity, I think, weighs on a community. So I think what happens is you gain numbers in that you gain people that are there as tourists just to see what the drama is, and you gain some people that want that will stay for more of it, hopefully. But then you lose the people that are chill, you know, like the people that kind of like don't care that deeply and are like, let's just hang out and move on. Let's play games, you know, whatever. You lose all of them, you know? And those people tend to not care if you talk about it. If it's your own situation and you talk about it a bit, those people usually don't care. If it's commenting on something or a meta discussion about it, it's like informational, they usually don't care. But when you're sitting there and it's a complaint train the whole time, you lose those people. You really do. So I think it's long-term bad. Because I think what happens is whenever you have your own drama and you just do nothing but talk about it for like months, I think if you do nothing but that for months, you end up like swapping out a lot of those good chill people for the opposite. And then I think that's why like someone was bringing up how like Ludwig recently said a thing and he was like, I'm stopping mogul mail because it went from like a normal content thing to like a more of a drama thing. I think that's what it is. Like when something performs well, but it's related to drama, and then you're like, oh, maybe I should do a little more of that. Yes, you're building numbers, but you're not keeping all the old people. You're swapping a lot of the old chill people out for newer ones that like drama, you know? So it's kind of like, I don't know. If you want to have a community like fucking like Co-Carnage, you know what I mean? You want to have a community like that that's hanging out. You can't do any of that. You know? You just got to chill. You got to chill. You comment on something when it makes sense. He comments on like gaming drama all the time where he just like gives his opinion. He weighs in, but he doesn't sit there and like lament about stuff all the time, you know? He's just like, yeah, here's my opinion on that. Right? Or a little meta discussion about Twitch and streaming. He'll talk about that stuff. But it's just like, yeah, here's my opinion on that. It's not, again, the complaint train, right? Yeah, and he's not making like huge amounts of content out of it. So, you know, yeah, if you want a community that's chill like that, you have to look at that as an example, I feel. Dan's Gaming is a great community too. I love Dan. My trifecta is like Barb, Dan, and Co. I really love their communities. Genuinely. See, I view it as a sign of maturity if you can find a balance between letting the negative feelings out of your system, like a balloon letting out helium, and discussing it in an informative way, like how you're doing. I always worry when I talk about any meta discussion like that at all, where I'm like, I hope I don't get people coming in here who just want to hear about drama. But I think the way I talk about stuff in like a really sanitized way, you know, like the way I discuss it keeps those people kind of away. Obviously some of them will like tourists pop in, but then when someone comes in and they like we're talking about an issue, I'm talking about like the meta discussion about it, and then some guy comes in and they're like, I'm on this side and I hate everyone else. I flame those people, you know? Or you guys flame them. You guys are like, bro, calm the fuck down. It's not that big of a deal. And that person immediately is like, they either calm down and stay here and chill, or they leave, you know? So like, that's why I think we don't really have that issue here. It's been nice. It's been nice. You're so relaxed about it that drives the drama people away. Yeah, dude. Especially like when all the VJojo shit was going on and people would come in and ask questions, I'd like calm them down first. They'd be like, I hate this person. And I'd be like, hold on, you don't know them and you don't know everything about them. Let's breathe, right? Like I try my best to remind them to fucking breathe or something. And they'd either be like, you're not angry enough for me, and they'd leave, or they would chill out and then sit around and stay, you know? So it's like the normal news, you know? But I want to be mad, yeah. I don't have it in me, man. I don't have it in me. I don't have it in me. I don't know. I also, like... I'm not really good at, like, fully taking a side, too. I don't want to, like, all agree with one side on any situation. Especially, like, people in general. Someone who I largely disagree with will always have a few things that they say where I'm like, yeah, I get that. And vice versa. Someone I largely agree with, they'll always have some shit that they say where I'm like, yeah, I don't agree with that. And I'll mention all of it. But I know a lot of other people won't. Because they don't want to get, like, flamed by the people that are like... There's a lot of that mindset where they're like, if I disagree with someone, it means they're all bad. And if I agree with someone, it means they're all good. And they don't like when you mention, you know, the other sides of that stuff. So... yeah, I think when I talk about that stuff, it's definitely, like, I can see how that shit balloons in weird ways. Like, you guys know, if you spend a lot of time here, you know I disagree with, like, a lot of the general Twitch stuff, a lot of decisions. I'm like, what is that? Why are they doing that? And I talk about disagreeing with it. But there are one or two things that they've said before that I did agree with. I was like, yeah, I get why they do this. By agreeing on, like, two major topics out of the, like, 100... because of that, there are people that think that I, like, love everything they do. And I'm like, okay. All right. That's why a lot of people won't talk about that stuff. They'll only talk fully favorably or, like, fully against somebody, you know? It's crazy, man. You could do that? Yeah, can you believe it? No, I think when people are mad at a person or an entity or a company, you know, whatever, they want to just sit there and shit on them, and they want to say it's all bad. They want to just sit there and, like, freak out about it, and they want everyone to just sit there and they want to stand in a circle and kick the person on the floor in the middle of the circle. You know what I mean? Like, it's all they want. And I'm like, well, but I did like that one thing. Right? Or, like, when you're talking about games, too. If a game is bad, but it has, like, a couple things about it that are good, if I sit there and talk about those couple of things about that game that are good, people will be like, but the game was shit. And I'm like, all right, but we're talking about, like, this one thing. You know? Or if I talk about a game I like, but then I mention, like, some stuff that wasn't good about it, same thing. They're like, you're a fucking hater. But I'm like, I'm just talking about this one mechanic. The rest is fine. You know? I don't know. It makes it hard to talk about that stuff without, like, people getting angry. You must pick a side and only be on that side, dude. Yeah, that seems to be the attitude for sure. Yeah, Overwatch is a great example. That shit game has a couple of things that are good. Yeah, but then when you're like, oh, I really like this thing about Overwatch, you'll always have someone in the chat who'll be like, yeah, but the game is shit. And you're like, okay. We weren't talking about our full end opinion. We were talking about, you know, this one thing, right? Just this one thing. It's tough, man. When you say, he said, greetings, is the Tinder review, well, it's going to be overall dating profile. Tinder review stream going to be serious or just for funsies? What do you mean by that? Do you mean like, what do you mean by that? Do you mean like, if I'm serious, that I'm like giving only advice to make it better? Or is it like, who would I pick? Because we're not doing it like that. I don't have a corporeal form. But I don't think that's what you're asking. I don't think that's what you're asking, or I hope not. What do you mean by that? Also, hello, Nilo, how are you? How you doing? How you doing? English not main language? Yeah, yeah. Thinking how much advice versus how much we're just gassing or dissing viewers. Okay, yeah, that's what I figured. Both. Both. Completely both. I don't think GEEGA's gonna make fun of people's profiles, Lamau. You don't? Send yours in. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be really nice the whole time to everyone. I'm gonna be really nice. And I think everyone's great and you all dress well. Your hair is all good. Your hobbies are all great. Send yours in. Wait and see. Wait and see. Said, I don't Tinder because I know I don't have a chance. Not with that attitude. Not with that attitude at all, dude. Look. It's not about how much of a chance you have. It's about making it possible versus impossible. That's all that matters. No dating profile? Okay, you'll never meet anyone on a dating app. Dating profile? Okay, maybe you'll meet someone. That's it. That's it. I also don't think apps are the best, but they actually do seem to work for a lot of people. I think it's nice because then you can be in an environment where you're like, okay, we're all looking for something. Whereas like being out in the dating world in person, there's that extra layer of like, I don't even know if this person is available. I don't know if this person is looking for this right now. And you have to get through that first. So it takes away, it peels back that first layer. And it just, you can straight up in your profile be like looking for a long-term partnership or like looking for some short-term shit, you know, whatever. And you could just like get on the same page quicker. So I do see the value in it. I think that's the good part. But outside of that, I don't know. I think it makes it easier for people to write each other off, though, because they'll look at, you'll say hobbies, and you'll be like, I like board games. And someone will be like, loser. And then they'll like swipe no. But maybe if they met you first and you talked about that later, they wouldn't give a shit. You know what I mean? But people judge over like really tiny things nowadays because it's just written in front of them like that. And so it's like, I don't know. People are less picky in person, I feel, because they're going off of vibe and not like a list of bullet pointed things about you, you know, which is more important ultimately, I think. I have plenty of friends that if you bullet pointed out what we're interested in, none of it would match up. I wouldn't think I would be friends with that person. But then when I meet them, I get along with them really well. I really enjoy their presence, you know? So I still think in person is best, personally. I think everyone should do speed dating all the time. I actually think speed dating is the greatest thing ever. Throw two people in a chair for 2 minutes, or across from each other in a chair, for 2 minutes, and force them to just talk to each other or attempt to. You peel back that initial layer, like you know those people are there to look for somebody. Okay. But you're learning about each other off of vibes and off of how you feel, and you're seeing them in person. I feel like that is just so much more efficient than doing the same thing but online. So many of my friends say that like when they use a dating app, they get a really good feeling about someone's profile, and then they meet them and they're like, I don't feel it. I don't feel it. And then they meet some random person, they don't really know them, but they're like, whoa, I feel something. You know, like, so I feel like speed dating is actually the greatest, most efficient way to wade through a pool of people. But people get nervous. Next con idea. I think some cons have done it. You end up with that problem though, where like some people go to cons and they don't want that there. They just want to have a good weekend and not think about it. So a lot of people just, they're like, while it would be nice, this is my weekend out, and I don't want to meet someone on Friday who's interested. We get a match, and then we're like trying to make something happen the whole weekend, you know? Like, I've had a lot of friends say that they've had like weird experiences as well with that. Or like, the fact that you're there for a weekend with a bunch of people and you could run into that person again. I had a friend who did, legitimately, she did convention speed dating. And it was on like the Friday. And she said she didn't match with anybody, but there were like 2 people that picked her and were like, oh yeah, I like put interest check. But she wasn't interested in them. So nothing really matched up. And then that whole weekend, one of them, she kept like running into. He wasn't stalking her or anything. He was not. But you know, you're in like one convention center. So she kept walking past him and he kept like mildly shooting his shot. Like he wasn't shooting his shot clearly enough that it was easy for her to reject him. He was just like kind, you know what I mean? And it was just like hard for her to do anything about it. It made the weekend awkward. So I think that's a really good idea, but they should do it on Sunday. They should do it on Sunday before everyone leaves. You know what I mean? I think they should do them at every convention, but do it at the end. That's the way, in my opinion. Just to like avoid all of that for people, you know? Yeah, when you're there at a con, like, hey, trying to avoid them. It can be awkward, man. It could be awkward. And I wasn't there, so she was messaging me the whole weekend. She was like, I just saw him at a restaurant and he just kept looking. And he didn't, not like creepy looking, he just occasionally would glance and I didn't know what to do. She was like, you know, like she wasn't scared because he didn't seem like an actual creep or anything, but she was just like awkward, you know? We should go back to the 80s, 90s videotape dating. Dude. Okay, if we get enough people sending in their dating profiles, maybe we can make those, you know, are you looking for me? We could make those like 80s dating videos and I can have you guys send those in. And I could be like, are you interested in this guy? Contact him through our Discord. You know those, right? Hold on, 80s dating tapes. I'm sure you guys have seen these. Dude, the video dating was so good. Are you looking for me? Yeah. Yeah, that's the one. It's the first time you're hearing of it? You've never seen them? Here, I'll play one for you. I'll play a short one. So this was, turn off BGM. This was back when, you know, it was the 80s, 90s. People weren't really using the internet. Well, the internet existed at the time, but people weren't using it by and large for communicating. So there was no internet dating, obviously. But there was a company or a few of them that would let people send in a VHS, like a recorded video of them kind of just saying that they're looking for someone and like talking about themselves a little bit and what they're looking for. And then they would like leave their phone number and you could call them.